Hey guys, recently someone asked me what was the most common thing holding people back from being successful. And I had to think about it, but it's fear. Fear holds a lot of people back from even trying. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to address the three most common fears that hold people back from achieving their dreams and how to overcome those fears. All right? So get something to take notes with and let's get started.
He comes on hard but nice. He's sincere, he is humble, but he is a powerhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage,
Hey guys, what's up? So I was out in Aruba not long ago. Beautiful island, by the way. If you haven't been, I'd recommend it. So I was out in Aruba. I'd thrown an event for some leaders, and we were out there for about a week and a half. It was fun. We rented a mansion on the island, private chef. Went skydiving. That's a whole other story. So I went skydiving. We had ATV excursions all over the island, VIP at their hottest club, dinner on the beach. Anyway, if you ever come to one of my events or any sort of a mastermind, just understand it'll be first class. So we had fun. And I was out there and I was hanging out with my videographer, Corey Williams, and he asked me a question that merited some serious thought. He asked me, he said, Austin, what do you think is the most common reason for failure in network marketing? What do you think is holding people back from being successful? And so, that merited some thought, right? I had to think about it for a second. And I told him, I said, obviously it's fear. Fear is what holds people back from being successful, whether it's one fear or another. I said, but let me think about this, and we'll talk about this later, because this could help some people to figure this out and address it. So that's what we're going to do today, guys, is I'm going to address these three fears with you, and then I'm going to give you the keys on how to overcome these three fears, okay? And it's important to realize that whenever you understand the truth behind a fear, it takes all the power away from the fear. And I'll give you a great example. I used to be afraid of flying. It's the safest way to travel, period, right? So obviously it's nothing worth being afraid about. So now I'm not afraid of flying at all, okay? But I used to be very afraid of flying. But whenever you can understand the truth about your fear, it just takes all the power away from the fear. Anyway, I'm going to give you some truths, okay? And we're going to address the three most common things holding people back from being successful. It's all fear, okay? So write this down if you're taking notes, which you hopefully are. Write this down, very important. The emotions are not subject to reason. They are, however, subject to action, okay? The emotions are not subject to reason. They are, however, subject to action. What I mean by that is you're not going to think your way out of an emotion, all right? You're not going to think your way out of being afraid, all right? So you have to take action. All right, and so I'm going to show you exactly how to do all of this, and we're going to give you something that empowers you. Okay, so the first fear we're going to address is the fear of change. Okay, it's important to realize the truth. The truth is that change is inevitable and constant. It's happening right now. Growth is, however, optional. Okay, and when you realize that the change was put in your life as an opportunity for growth, then it's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, you can be excited about that. Whenever there's a change in your life, no matter what it is, that is an opportunity for growth. And so when you realize this, you relate change with fun. So change is fun. Change is good. It's meant to, for the betterment of your life. It's meant to help you be the very best version of you. So, change is a good thing, okay? The second fear we're going to talk about is the fear of ridicule. With this, it's important to understand the truth. So, the person doing the ridiculing has noticed a flaw that they have in someone else that person has overcome, okay? So this person's sitting here thinking, or consciously or unconsciously, that there's this flaw in them, and this person over here has overcome it, or they're in danger of overcoming it and making this person feel smaller, right? And so when you realize that, then don't be upset with the person doing the ridiculing, and don't fear them, okay? Because you're doing better than them, or at least attempting to do better than them, all right, in some way. So realize that you're strong in a way that they are weak, and so they ridicule you, all right? And they should be giving you a compliment, right? Hey, good job, but they're not, and they're not gonna for a while. Here's how you handle that: is one, realize that truth, and two, stay the course. Matter of fact, turn up the heat, just stay the course. And when you do, it's amazing, because 99 times out of 100, that person doing the ridiculing, they come around and they end up congratulating you. And man, that feels so good. It's happened with me, I'm not going to get too personal, but I will tell you, I had a family member that they wouldn't even let me hang out with their son whenever I first got started in the network marketing profession. It wasn't until I had made millions and millions of dollars, retired my mom from a six-figure career, helped a lot of people, just done all sorts of crazy stuff. It wasn't until then that they came around. It darn near took, carving them a statue out of marble myself. You know what I'm saying? That would have probably been easier. But anyway, so that feels amazing whenever you persevere and that person comes around. And it happens more times than not. The last fear, which I think is probably the most common, or it's definitely one of the three most common, obviously, but I think it's one of the most common, more than anyone, is the fear of failure. The fear of failure actually prevents people from being successful, because a lot of people don't even try. And that's how it prevents them from being successful. So it's important to realize this, and you can write this down because it's wildly important for you to understand, is that success is just a series of corrected failures. Success is just a series of corrected failures. It really is. Success is just a series of corrected failures. I can think of like hundreds of failures off the top of my head that I've had, but you gotta understand that it's only a failure when you accept it as such. I either win or I learn, one or the other, okay? So don't be afraid of failing. Instead, be afraid of not trying and that nagging phrase, what if? That phrase, that'll take you out of the game. You look back on a long life and what if? How many times right now can you think, what if I had done this? Where would I be at if I had done that? Don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not trying and that nagging phrase, what if? Understand that you're always going to have challenges, issues, and setbacks. I have, you will, they did, everyone does, okay? That's to be expected. And the more successful you want to be, the more challenges, issues, setbacks, and roadblocks you're gonna have to overcome, okay? But understand, everybody that went down that path had to overcome them too. And you can learn, with me, sometimes I learn what best not to do from other people, and I was once told a really important quote that I think you should write this down too, because it's a really good quote. It was given to me by a good friend of mine, Christopher Hussey. So Chris is an amazing gentleman also. So Christopher, one time, he said on stage, he said, the quickest and easiest path to success is directly through the experience of others. Which is so true. Think of it as a jungle that we're walking through, and they're going first. They get to make all the mistakes. They get to, get bit in the face by a snake or whatever the case may be. We're going through the jungle. They're blazing a trail. Well, the quickest and easiest path is directly through the experience of others. So, just so true. Anyway, so I want you to take these three fears and how to overcome them, and not just listen to this video. Take note, understand it, and apply it, because it will just absolutely change your entire life. It'll make it so much more stress-free, so much more enjoyable. And go ahead and realize that if you want to be successful, if you really do want the things that you say you want in life, if you want to achieve your dreams, then you're going to have to address these fears, not through talking about it, but through being about it, through action. Take action, have fun. I look forward to hearing your testimonials.